ever do that before?
No, I've never done that. I've not had much ballet training, so this was cool because like I've never really understood how to use my muscles, especially in like sautés and stuff. So that even helps me, and I know this is built for younger age, so I thought it was cool.
Let me tell you something. Thank you. And again, thank you for saying that. It's the same. If you're doing it right, it's all the same. It's mechanism. There are very few mechanisms for many movements. Really rotate your hip knobs, right? Turn them out like jar top, mason jar tops. Really resist those vacuum packed, rotate those tops. Now, push through the heels. Do you see how she's now? Rotation, initiation with your legs. Rotate. Start coming in, sip the milkshake. Start moving them. Turn out, now come up and row your boat at the same time. How hard was that? Okay.
That was really hard. My legs were burning. They're on fire.
Oh, okay. Well, now inner thighs, I hope. Where in the legs? Let's be really specific.
Yeah.
Pacific.
Inner thighs.
The dancers who make the simple steps challenging do the challenging steps well. It's the simple things that are the hardest. The problem is we're not giving them enough attention.
I didn't realize how hard it was for me to coordinate. But bringing the arms and the legs in at the same time was really difficult for some reason.
Exactly. Let's not ever mistake simple for easy. I hope you heard that. Simple's never easy if you're doing it right. That's where we kind of get the disconnect there. If you're learning dance from the beginning, the way it's meant to be taught, you're learning body awareness, because that's at the root of every genre. You can only get better if you go back to the root of where everything starts. I'm so proud of you for being willing, right? If you want to fix something, guys, you got to be willing to look. If you want to make a difference, do something different. It's not the feet. If you think releve is in the feet, that's why your heels are dropping. You want better point work? Get out of your feet. Point work is not about the feet. That's the final product. It's everything else, right? And the problem is we focus on the thing that really isn't where it's starting from.
That was incredible. Like I felt such a different rotation than I've ever felt before. And the stress wasn't on my ankles. It was like sitting right under my booty.
Fluffy butt department.
Oh, yes. I was just going to say that I felt it a lot in my inner thighs. I'm a person that struggles with turnout, and especially with releves, I find it like lifting in my heels rather than thinking higher up. So the big picture was interesting for me.
Congratulations. I just love that. Guys, I'm loving everything you're saying. Compress your wings, Delaney. Parallel your legs first, a little bit parallel when your wings are up. Get your wings higher, parallel. Stay in releve. Now compress even more into turnout. Higher head and heels. So you're climbing on higher rungs of your ladder. Every time you press, you're going up more of the rungs of the ladder. Do you see what she's doing there? And the heels never drop. They only strive to get higher than you already are. Because gravity's going to take you down, people. That is beautiful. Come on down. Let's give her a hand. Take the money. Take the money. Okay. Love this.
I did feel the rising sensation because I was like pressing into the floor so hard, like the press down to go up. So I did feel like I was going higher in a sense, even though I physically really wasn't. But I did feel that sensation, so I wasn't ever going down, which sometimes when I start to get tired and fatigued from holding a releve for so long, I do drop my heels like not knowing. So that is a helpful like mindset to have when I'm holding releve.
You gotta go to a different place if the place you're in isn't working. I love that you said, Delaney, that you struggle with keeping the heels up, but you can't think of keeping the heels up to keep the heels up. You gotta climb up higher out of it.
I felt like I'd never been on a higher releve in my life before, and it felt really nice. I felt like I could actually stay there and hold my balance.
What were you doing that got you there?
I think thinking about my arms going with my legs really helped me, because a lot of times when I'm doing releves, I only think about what's going on with my lower half and not my upper half. And when actually thinking about both of them at the same time, it was like a boom kind of moment. Like realization that, wow, when they go together, things actually happen.
So basically, Brenna, you activated your releve from your whole body.
I really struggle with turning out like from my hip, like turning out my entire leg. And so I feel like with that, like instead of focusing on just like getting the perfect first position, I was actually focusing on just rotating my whole leg. And so that was kind of the first time I noticed that I like what muscles I was using to actually rotate my whole leg and actually notice that I was rotating my whole leg.
Do you hear that? It's being aware of yourself and what you're doing, especially the things you've done forever. Fantastic.
I felt like my weight was evenly distributed on my feet because like I have a problem, my ankles are really small. So I have a problem of like, I like kind of shift my weight on my toes a lot. And when I was thinking about the turnout coming from my hips and also like the oppositional energy from my back, I felt my weight was really steady on my toes.
You hear this? Unbelievable comment, so helpful. And we're going to discuss one side dominance where we have one leg that's usually weaker, right? And we're going to discuss how to also help that. But if you have equal amounts of power in your upper back and you're utilizing that, you can help that weaker side tremendously stabilize, right? So you can draw from other areas to help you when you know you have certain weaknesses. That's why it's so important to know your body and to know the things that aren't serving you.
I felt like when we did the releve to the coupe with the arm, it was way more balanced than just doing it with the turnout of the legs. Because at first, when we just did it with the legs, I couldn't find my balance like on my legs. But then when we added the shoulders and like the pressing down of the back, it really helped me to find my balance on my legs.
Thank you. And by the way, we're talking bones a lot. We're going to get to that in the next section. How the bone first is very important, thinking bones first, because that's your structure, not what muscles am I holding. That gets in the way of alignment. We're going to focus on bones in the next section. That's fantastic.
So do you want to check in? Was anything I was doing helpful or not helpful? Or do you want to have a minute to tell me some feedback on what?
Oh, yeah, it's fantastic. I just want to know if you think that it's going in the right direction.
100%. It's amazing.
Okay.
And I know it's so hard to like understand the vibe when we're all muted and completely silent, but we're having so much fun in here. So you just keep doing what you're doing.
Well, what a blessing, right? Yeah. And the fact that the light bulbs are going off is all that matters to me, because that's the piece that they need. If anybody struggles with something that's not working or gripping muscles somewhere, you have to rewire them to someplace else. You can't say just stop. You have to give them an alternative. This is how you learn to articulate your tendus. By slowing the arms down, you have to slow the articulation of your feet down. Yes. Go ahead.
I can talk if you want me to. But yeah, I was focusing on remembering all the things we've talked about today, like really using our turnout from our hips, keeping the heels on the floor, and to not use the other muscles from the other direction.
You're now minimizing the amount of things you're holding to maximize the movement.
Especially with the shoulder rotation coming forward, like at the end, I was still rotating forward like this instead of spiraling and keeping that shelf the whole way, if that makes sense.
Makes perfect sense. So understand that once you start uncovering information, it's sort of like a waterfall. The more you open up the floodgates, the more that too. So that's a good thing. That means things are opening, loosening, shaking up.
I feel like this time around, I could actually really feel the muscles because I could let go a bit more, like you said in the beginning, and feel them. I feel like I was using more of like the muscles in my leg and less of just my foot. Like it felt more like my body was one unit than it was just my feet are doing all of the work.
You are no longer going to rise with your feet. You are going to rise with the whole leg. Wings compress, shoulders still climb, spine spirals up. That's how you're going to turn from now on. And it's going to be amazing.
The spiral spine, it makes my spine feel like miles long. So I feel like I'm really sending my tailbone down into the ground so that I have more stability to like pull in opposition.
Never miss an opportunity to resist your wrists. Resist your wrist. Never miss an opportunity to make your hands heavy. Now let's talk about spot. Spot. You have a right spot and a left spot and a right head and a left head. When you push your right shoulder back, you have to have something in the opposite direction. So I like to call the right shoulder the left head, because it's the same thing we said about stretching elastic bands. You have to pull one thing one way and one thing the other way. So if you're not bringing your head back all the way every time, you're not going to get it. Yes, Jamie.
I'm feeling like I'm falling backwards. So do you have any tips about that? Because I'm trying to press
Yes.
the air down, but I feel that I'm going backwards as I'm doing it.
I need to kind of take a look at you then. Let me see what you're doing. Okay. What? Wait a minute. Am I hallucinating?
That was the first time that happened well, so that was fortunate timing.
That clicked for you. That was gorgeous. Did you feel how amazingly lined up you were? Yeah, and it wasn't luck and it wasn't by surprise or mistake. You just had everything lined up. Michaela, you really, Lizzie, I could see the power of both of you. Oh, Lexi, are you guys feeling that? Shelby, my girl. Woo! Whoa. It's Shelby. You know. Shelby, do you feel good about yourself? You really should. I mean, I caught that, lady.
Yeah,
you go.
I do. Because
Yeah.
during midterms, Miss Jan said, I need power, I need push. And so now I'm like, I understand. Wow, finally. So yeah, thanks.
I'm so happy. Once your body feels the movement of it, it can create it on a smaller level. But you have to get it big first for the body to say, oh, I know what that is. Then it keeps it as you minimize the movement. Now we're going to face front. This is the tricky part. Now you have to really watch yourself that you always do a quarter turn before your head gets to move at all. Right? Leave it the whole way. Leave it longer than you think you need to. That's right, Jenna. Nice single. Good. That's it, Jamie. That was beautiful, Jenna. Beautiful, Lexis. Now, I'm going to check in with all of you. Lexis, are you compressing as much as you can?
I feel like I'm doing it more at like the top, but I'm not doing it as much like once I'm finishing the turn.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm missing. Okay, guys, the toothpaste does not continue to come out unless you keep squeezing. So if you want to keep going up, you got to keep squeezing.
I've got something to say.
Please, Hannah.
So normally when I like turn, like I feel like my upper body is like the one that like makes me fall like out of my turn, but like by pushing down it gave my like the right like tension and like the right muscles to use to be able to like keep myself like straight up instead of like my body normally like, and also my head, like I normally like lean back, but by like using like pressing down the air, it made me like push my upper body like more on top of it instead of like sinking down.
The wings are helping you feel what the teachers are always telling you. They're always telling you this, right? But it's like, how do I do that? Once you do this enough, you can do it without having those arms. Your body will remember it. That's the muscle memory you want, right? The muscle memory that gives you dynamic movement, not the one that keeps you locked. It takes longer, but it is the key.
I really liked the whole compression thing because it really helped me with my shoulders, keeping them down, but also thinking about like pushing up through like my supporting legs. And it just really was nice opposition to think about when turning. I really like that. Thank you so much.
Elijah, try to find some, if you can see your eyes, it's great. If not, find something right at eye level. Ah, did you feel it, Elijah? That was magical. Magical. It was excellent. Excellent. Keep going. Okay.
I did ballet at the studio I worked at, but they put me in the advanced class, so I had no clue what was happening at all. But they were like, just get taller, like doing pirouettes. I didn't know what that meant. And the way you explained it today really like helped me understand. I feel like I understood a lot better how to like get taller.
I just want to say that I've seen some of these students, the students that I do know in this class, like Leah in particular, I've never seen her stand taller than she has, especially in this third class. So you know, sometimes it's humbling as a teacher to like, well, why couldn't I do that? Why couldn't I make that change?
Yes.
But like releasing that ego and seeing them make really great corrections with you has been so rewarding. And I've seen it all throughout all 3 classes. So thank you.